What's going on, everyone? American and Leeds YouTube and Spotify channel. Hope you're all well this evening. I'm really trying to process that match. I had to process it. It's a 4-3 to Leeds to the Whites, and um, it was just a strange one. I You don't expect Leeds to concede that many goals, 3 goals, which is quite honestly unacceptable. And for us to come back and win, I think does show some resolve, but also the fact that we conceded 3 to me also shows that we were unprepared and ill-prepared for the match. I have to be quite frank there. Go ahead and smash the like. We're going to go for 50 likes. So if you haven't, take a pause, minimize the window. If you have me in the background, take time, like it. It helps grow the channel and push the channel on to other people who love Leeds United content. And of course, my content is a view from across the pond as an American. But it just look, the first 10 minutes, the first 8 minutes, Leeds United relatively dominant. Of course, Swansea has their opportunity to score. They take advantage of it. Harry Darling, who hasn't scored since January, has not scored since January. Leeds United basically in a training ground type exercise just allow Darling to score. Is really jaw dropping and inexplicable. And you're thinking, well, how organized is Swansea defensively? Uh, Turns out not that organized, but we still concede goals. Look, James puts it on a plate for Solomon. I think it's probably what Solomon needed to get going. Um, but yeah, I mean, he puts Dan James through on goal. I think Al Tanaka puts him in, and Dan James puts it on a plate. We're level. Okay, you're thinking, come on, Leeds, keep going. Let's go. Let's try to get a second. Put this one into bed. Well, right before halftime, the worst time to score. Of course, Leeds United kind of asleep at the wheel. I don't know if it's Meslier, but it's a 3-on-2 situation. There's a turnover in midfield, a back and forth in midfield, and McClellan, simple pass back into the net. Meslier is caught off guard, maybe flat-footed, leaning to the wrong side of the post. Uh, Meslier has to do better. Meslier has to do better. The first goal, I don't blame Meslier as much. The second goal, I kind of blame Meslier. It was just a simple pass back into the net. DJ again for the second goal to make it all level for Leeds United. Puts it on a plate again and causes an OG, causes an own goal. Of course, now we're level. You're thinking, Leeds, come on, let's win this game. Let's not drop points. Byram ghosts in. Is Byram ghosts in? And also, again, we're just putting it. This is how bad, I guess, Swansea's back line is. But when we're putting in crosses, and they're just right in the sweet spot where you want to be. So obviously, Byram puts it on a plate again for Solomon. So you're crediting Solomon for really getting into good positions. You're not really seeing Solomon, I think, using that dribbling ability and getting past a lot of people. And so, anyways, we're level, right? So you're thinking, God, I can't believe we allowed, uh, you know, to concede 2 goals against this really poor side. All due respect to Swansea in the championship. But this is their best goal, right? The cross that comes in, and Florian Belakici, I don't know your last name, but he puts it and just beats 2 defenders. And a nice finish there. That's their best goal. That is their goal that I give them credit for. The first 2 goals were Leeds. The first goal is just unacceptable that we concede. The second goal, quite honestly unacceptable as well, just to be 3-on-2 in that situation, and Meslier needs to do better. The third goal is the most livable goal that you can kind of live with. So I am Leeds United have to have the mentality of being a Manchester City type in the championship. Now I could happy clap tonight and I could say, hey, you know what? We got 3 points in the bag. We're top of the league. Party time. I just think that you cannot allow Swansea to score 3 goals. You can't do it. I don't care if home or away. I don't care. You have to go in with every game trying to get a clean sheet. And so that's why I'm a little bit disappointed. And we got away with it by the hair of Daniel Farkas, chinny chin chin. Quite honestly, he would have been in, I think, some trouble had we not gotten a win tonight. I think the front office would have been very disappointed. So I'm going to get into your comments. We're going to listen to Daniel Farka. I also want to get into the team sheet. I thought that was wrong tonight. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. I watched this match. I was disappointed. I'm glad that we came back and won. But I'm also disappointed. It's unacceptable to concede 3 goals against Swansea, who was lowest on the table before today, conceding those goals. So AF says, Will. Morning says Danny. Morning to you, good sir. Good sir. Wisconsin in the house. Hell, heck yeah. Yo. All right. Again, 50 likes. So if you haven't, please smash the like. It'll kick it on to other Leeds United lovers of this mighty club that is in West Yorkshire. Look, the team sheet came out. Let's share this. Team sheet came out. First of all, I didn't like I was like, Alex, are you being negative? Are you being? I'm like trying to I'm trying to like slow my roll a little bit, but the unis came out. I don't even like the unis. I'm like, what's going on here? But anyways, we went with the dark uniforms, which is fine. And you're going Meslier, Bogle, Byram, Strauch, Rodon, Rothwell, Al Tanaka. Okay, that's your back six. Pretty solid at the back. If you didn't know, Isaac Schmidt came down with hernia surgery, which was quite shocking. This team in hernia surgeries, I don't know what's going on. Last year, Strauch, obviously, I think there was a few others, maybe one other that had hernia surgeries. Now we've got Isaac Smith with hernia surgery. I didn't hear a timetable on him, but disappointing because a player that I really I liked what I saw so far this season in the limited amount of time that he's been given. So, anyways, Isaac Smith, we have to roll with Sam Byram. Obviously, Junior Firpo is banned currently, I think, game 2 of 3. So we'll do one more game without Mr. Firpo. And then Solomon, James, Aronson, Perot. Okay, Perot you think is going to stay there. Aronson, Dan James I love, but Solomon comes in a little bit of a head scratcher because Gnonto, he is our star boy. I quite honestly think that. Maybe the Gaffer was going with kind of seniority. Solomon does maybe have some more senior starts in England. Dan James obviously does as well. Aronson has played top flight in Germany, and obviously Joel Perot is one of the best offensive talents, I guess you could say, in the championship. So, or very seasoned, striker in the championship. So that to me sounded a little bit toothless. Obviously, I think I'm going to go ahead and say our best front four for me is Ramazani, Gnonto, I would say Dan James, and I would go with Joseph. And it goes back to really what Gier was saying last week. Does Farke know his best striker against each team? Because this was a game in which Joseph, the player that he's got more about him, right? He's not just a finisher, but he can go out and press. He can go out and do the donkey work, as you like to say. And I know people are saying, "Well, who cares about the donkey work? We want them to score." Well, I mean, did you really see Joel Pro in this match? I didn't see him. So this is the type of game where he chose poorly, I think, in terms of his number 9. This was a game that uh, Swansea wanted possession. Swansea wanted to try to play it out of the back. That's a game for Joseph. If it's a game that they're sitting in a block and they're playing, one way, over the top constantly. It's very Route One football. That's a game maybe more for Perot. So, anyways, I just I didn't like the lineup, and I think they came out okay in the first 10 minutes, but largely a little flat for me. All right, let's go to Farke. And what does Farke have to say for himself? You, sir, you got away with one, in my opinion, Daniel Farke. And this is him after the match, looking quite confident, a little bit too confident for me. But anyways, he's looking confident with LUTV after the match.
Well, Daniel, where do we start with that one? I mean, at the end of the day, 3 points. Happy?
Yes, of course, you have to be happy. So it's a tough place to go, and I expected a tight game. Didn't see that coming, if I'm honest, because normally Swansea's game always ends up 0-0, 1-0, 1-0 for the other team. Didn't see a 4-3 coming. Yes, of course, happy, because I think the lads were offensive-wise excellent. We had games where we were perhaps in terms of defending better. Today, first goal, yes, could have defended it a bit sharper. I think it was also a bit unlucky because it was never a foul before the free kick for them. But anyway, then you have to show good reaction. We were a bit sleepy in the added time. First half, we were a bit sleepy at the time. Second half, conceded 3 goals. Normally, you can't win any point then here at Swansea because they're so good in defending. But what has happened in between the added times was excellent. I think how my lads created.
Now, I guess I'll be a Farke apologist here and say Swansea is good at home, even though they have not. What's remarkable again about this match is that we conceded 3 goals. It's not that we even, didn't get a result. It's that we conceded 3 goals. But Swansea is absolutely, it's been a little bit of a fortress. I believe they've only lost 1 match so far this season at home.
The chances here, scored goals, could have scored a few more, showed reaction. It's always so difficult once you're behind against Swansea, because then they normally never concede. And yeah, we're back in the first half, showed an answer. We're back again, showed an answer. And even the 3-3 was more or less feels like a defeat, and we had again the answer. So unbelievable mentality. Perhaps we had games where our defending was more tidy and more clinical. But if you want to lift some silverware, you also need heart and spirit. And
look, 2 of their goals is because Darling was ball watching. Darling was, like a complete the statue. A couple of these people, we were playing both Gnonto on side and I believe Solomon. So, their defending was atrocious. 2 of the goals is because of that player just being asleep.
Togetherness and big resilience, and this what we showed all today, and for that I'm pretty happy tonight.
I think the result was never in doubt, Daniel. I'm not sure what everyone's talking about, to be honest, but I thought the start of the second half, we started the game extremely well. In that second 45, started to get on top, and then you could see Swansea going back, but just needed some quality, and we came up with it, didn't we?
Yes, and I have to give compliments to my lads, because we knew before, if we go behind, especially here away at Swansea, it's so difficult. It happened unlucky in the first half, great reaction, fought our way back, then sleepy at a time, and of course they were a bit down at halftime. It was necessary to lift them up a little bit, and they showed an unbelievable reaction in the second half. Fantastic second half, and then we're perhaps even a bit too scared to play further on forward in order to score the decisive 4th goal, and then a bit unlucky. Our defending was not spot on like in all the other games before today. Yeah, for me, at the moment the 2 best centre backs in the league, so the 3-3 should have done better. We concede the goal, but then again another great reaction. This mentality was second to none. So to always keep going and show this resilience, and this is sometimes more worth than just a tactical spot on performance. And for that, with this type of wins, then you can create something special. That's definitely for sure.
Those fans behind the goal have had a heck of a job to get here. It's a long old journey anyway.
Look, I thought he's gonna probably praise the fans, but you should, put it on the plate, for Farke to knock that one out. But I just thought the communication across the pitch was a little bit poor today, and yeah, I mean, what do I mean by that? I mean, I just feel like the partnerships that you would normally see in a team that's really firing on all cylinders. Byram was a big miss for me today. I don't feel like you got. I mean, he wound up ghosting in, right, and getting that assist. But there was, up until that moment, I thought he was a big, kind of big guy. He had the handball. I don't know what that was about. What are you doing? Obviously, got carded for that. He just looked off. I'm sorry. I mean, Byram looked off, and Joel Perreault looked off for me today. And I just thought the communication. Now, right, you could say that to be expected coming off of an international break, but I mean, we're in late November now. Those type of excuses are kind of. I'm just saying. Look, I'm happy we won. We're top of the table. Can we absolutely go on with it? Absolutely, we can. But Farke, in a way, got away with one tonight. This morning, this afternoon, whenever you're watching this, yesterday, Farke got away with it. And I think his players bailed him out a little bit because I think he got some stuff wrong, obviously. And just that work on the set piece, the most atrocious goal that we conceded, what really was that first one. And we've seen goals like that kill us. We've seen goals like that go in, and then a team just S-house and time waste, and you never see the equalizer from Leeds coming. So to come back, I will say, they did it. They have to do it, right? There's been times where we've been in on goal and we just don't finish. So we did finish. I mean, Willy Gnonto finishing that goal at the end of the game to secure all 3 points in the bag. Let's hear him praise the fans here.
And then through a storm and all the rest of it. So celebrations as much for them, I guess, at the end as for anybody.
Yes, absolutely. So also for us, it was yesterday much longer than expected. We were pretty late here in Swansea, but listen, it makes no difference. So we want to be on it and want to be successful. We have the chance right now in order to claim the top spot since ages for this club in a league, and we wanted to do this and wanted to give it to our supporters as a reward also for their fantastic support. And they were even there when we were back and were singing. And I'm glad that the boys made them proud and sent them home really with good experience on the long journey back to Leeds. But they will do it in a good mood, and this win is for them.
This win is for the fans. It's all about the fans. Football is nothing without the fans. Look, Kenneth, we can celebrate. I'm celebrating. I mean, I'm happy, but at the same time, for the first time, and look, I've never questioned Daniel. I've never questioned Daniel Farke. I really haven't. I mean, I think he's been the man for the job virtually since he took the position. I think. Who else you got kind of thing. I mean, he didn't, there were times we didn't finish well last year, but I don't think that was all him. This is the first time, this was the first match where I was like, he got some stuff wrong, and I think he got away with it a little bit. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Farke out. I'm saying if he didn't win this game, though, we would have been right, fourth? It would have been unacceptable to concede 3 goals and drop points against Swansea, who was struggling for form and goals and all of that we've seen it too many times. I've seen the movie. I've seen it. I've seen us come off of international breaks and drop points. Once is okay. Twice, I'm forgiving you. 3 times, dude, get your stuff together. And look, we didn't drop any points. We got full 3. We're top of the league. I'm celebrating. We'll look at What else we got going on? So let's look at that. Let's look a little bit at the match. Then I want to hear from Wilfried Gnonto, the decisive goal scorer. Let's look at some of the basics of the match. Of course, the 4-3 shots on target. This doesn't show the XG, which you take a little bit of salt. I'm not a big XG person, but shots 13 by Leeds United, 10 by Swansea. Shots on target 4 by Leeds United. Of course, all 4 went in, which tells you a little bit of our clinicality. 5 shots on target by Swansea. A couple of them were meager. I remember them happening. Possession. Leeds United had less possession, 43% to Swansea's 57%. Not a big deal, right? Giro always talks about possession with purpose. And we're beautiful on the counterattack. So we're happy to, in many ways, let them have the ball. We passed the ball less. Our pass accuracy was only at 80%. Only 2 corners for Leeds United and only 1 corner for Swansea. No cards, no red cards. We were offsides 5 times. Leeds United were offside 5 times. Yellow cards, 2 to Leeds United and 1 to Swansea. And Leeds United are top of the EFL Championship with 32 points. Tied with Sunderland, but we have the goal difference tiebreaker, I guess you would say. We have a goal difference of plus 16. Sunderland has plus 14. Sheffield United at 32 points as well. So it's really a 3-horse race. Sheffield United has a goal difference of plus 12. We've scored the most goals outside of Borough in the championship. Look, Burnley at 30 points, so 2 off of the top spot. In Middlesbrough, there seems to be maybe a little bit of separation between Borough, maybe the top 4, and Borough, who's at 27, West Brom at 26, and that's the cutoff for the playoffs currently. And then Watford not far off the pace there as well. Let's look at the run in a little bit with the Mighty Whites. And of course, it's taking me back to, you got to love Google. It takes me back to the games from last year. Okay, so Luton on Wednesday, Blackburn Rovers on Saturday, Derby County December 7th, and Borough December 10th. Look, these are all games we would expect 3 points. I mean, that's really where we need to be. I think, conceding, scoring first is going to be key. And I think not conceding, clean sheets. We have to start stacking those clean sheets as we did against QPR. So, set pieces are still a little bit of a worry. Still a little bit of a worry for me. But otherwise, I think the back 4 and the back 6 are relatively strong. Let's hear from Willy Gnonto. Willy, what say you? You just put in the winning goal against Swansea. You're the hero. And I'll talk a little bit about Farke.
We are really happy for him because he has been working really hard and he deserves it. We are really happy for him because he has been working really hard and he deserves it. So we're happy for all of them and happy with the win too. It's really good. I feel like
Of course, he's talking about Monar Solomon with the brace.
Competition, is really high. We have lots of good players in every position, and it's nice to have everyone fit.
Who took his spot, and I don't know. I don't think Farke will change going into the front. Right. The next match, right? He's going to go with. He's going to stay with Monar Solomon on the left. He's going to stay with Aronson in the 10. he might take Dan James out, which I think is, but he did this previous game. He took Dan James out and I think started Solomon. But to me, Dan James it was give it to Dan James in many moments of this match. Dan James, I think, stays. And Perot, I would probably sub Perot depending on the tactics that you think are going to happen in the next match. If you want a player that if the team is going to try to play out of the back, I think you do want that pressy number 9. If a team is going to sit in, maybe you do want somebody that's going to be more Johnny on the spot like Joel Perot, who's going to be more clinical in his finishing. To me, I think the best front four, Ramazani, Gnonto, James, and I would put Joseph up top. That's my front four. I put Willy in the 10. I put Ramazani in probably on the left, Dan James on the right, and Joseph up top. That's my front four. I think Ramazani and Gnonto, you see it just like you saw it with Somerville and Gnonto. They're tight. He's the first player. Ramazani's the first player to come and congratulate Gnonto, singing his name in down the hallway. That connection is good to have. And I don't know if it's just they're young players, they're young wingers, they like to get along, whatever. Ramazani's actually like 3 or 4 months older than Somerville. But you want that connection on the pitch for me. I like the fact that they're mates. I like the fact that they want to do creative stuff. So Ramazani and Gnonto for me, Gnonto in the middle, Dan James because his speed kills. I love Aronson. I think Aronson would be great to close out games as a pressy 10. And then I do, because you can't always count on the goals from Perot, I like the work rate better of Joseph. Those are my 4. So we'll see. To me, I've said it before. I've said it on Joe's show. I said it with Gier. I think it's going to be the back 4, that the partnership, if they remain healthy, of the back 4 really, and the partnership of Strauch and Rodon that get this team promoted. It's got to happen. That's why I was concerned about the 3 goals. That's all I'm saying. I was concerned about the 3 goals because it's not acceptable. It's just not. We got away with it. We got away with it. Are we ahead of schedule than last year? Absolutely. I mean, we're top of the league in January. We want to start seeing some separation. So hopefully Farke's team can continue to click on. And long may the points continue, because it's about getting out of this league. We worry about next year. All right. But that's my time. I'm Alex. Let's celebrate these 3 points, and it'll be on to the next match on Wednesday night. So cheers to all of you. Get some rest. Up the Whites. We are top of the league. Marching on together. Leads.